This week, amongst the glitz, glamour and humidity of the Miami Grand Prix, 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton confirmed his interest in competing at the highest level of NASCAR, the Cup Series. And given the recent explosion of interest in F1 drivers making the switch to stock car racing, it's really not unlikely we could see Lewis behind the wheel of a Cup car very soon. So for this video, we're going to take a look at some of the seats Lewis could fill, where he might fill them, and how he might perform. The first and most obvious contender would be Trackhouse's Project 91 Chevrolet Camaro. Already driven this year by another F1 world champion, Kimi Raikkonen, the 91 and its aim of being the intersection of global motorsport culture and NASCAR would view capturing Lewis as its driver as both a massive opportunity not to be missed and one of the most competitive cars Lewis could capture on a single race deal. Trackhouse have seen success at a wild variety of tracks, but given the likelihood that Lewis would race a road course, it leaves Sonoma and Watkins Glen as the two most likely candidates for this year, although the prospect of COTA in 2024 would also be on the horizon. Last year, Trackhouse took victory at Sonoma with the 99 of Daniel Suarez, and 2022's Watkins Glen race was the 91's debut race, so both of these could be a great opportunity for a new look number 91 garage to break cover. But let's keep dreaming for now. An alternative drive that F1's winningest driver might find himself offered is 2311's number 67 Toyota Camry. This year, the 67 has so far made a singular one-off appearance at Daytona, with Travis Pastrana behind the wheel. But that charter remains open, should co-owners Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin see an opportunity. So what would attract Hamilton to this seat? Well, the Mercedes driver has a huge presence in the motorsport world, both due to his enormous success, but also his status as a champion of diversity and representation. So teaming up with 2311 would make sense, with Hamilton becoming teammates with the only black driver running full-time in the Cup Series, Bubba Wallace, who to this day faces constant online backlash due to their outspoken personality and unapologetic driving style. Surely the impact of Lewis's presence in the field would do wonders for NASCAR's fan base and its outdated and hostile attitude towards the peace and love that the sport desperately needs. The 67 is also a fairly competitive car when we've seen it, with Pastrana having hauled it into the top 10 at times during the final laps of the Daytona 500, despite being vastly inexperienced compared to many drivers around him. So it's not unthinkable that someone as versatile as Lewis Hamilton could do one better and set their sights on victory lane, so long as they were given a competitive car. Coming more out of left field, a different option would be the number 15, a car piloted by multiple drivers this season and run by Rick Ware Racing. Earlier this season, with support from Stuart Haas, another ex-F1 world champion entered the world of NASCAR, Lewis Hamilton's former McLaren teammate Jenson Button. This deal came about as part of Mobil 1's wider motorsports collaboration, having sponsored cars in both formulas and maintained a network of relationships that also includes former NASCAR champion and current team owner Tony Stewart. This isn't the first time that Hamilton would have been involved with a Mobil 1 NASCAR event, having swapped cars with Tony Stewart at Watkins Glen back in 2011, and at the time commenting that he could see why NASCAR appealed, especially because of the different challenges between F1's aero-driven pure downforce approach and NASCAR's roaring hot pure power. Stewart, on the other hand, was squeezed into Hamilton's McLaren, and the only comment he made was he'd need to lose another 25 pounds to get any real kind of success. The 15 is probably a less competitive ride than what Hamilton would hope for. Lewis would probably hope to be competing with Hendrick or Joe Gibbs cars, but instead would find himself sharing a ride with the likes of Riley Herbst or JJ Yaley, who are in their own right respectable drivers, but unlikely to be front row contenders. But with Stuart Haas clearly evaluating how to tie in Haas's European efforts to the NASCAR world, the odds of a Lewis Hamilton run with Gunther Steiner as the crew chief are small but not zero. Regardless of where he may end up driving, Hamilton represents a different class of driver to the ones we're used to seeing. Instinctive, smooth, and scarily fast in wet conditions. I'd bet a lot of money that within a few laps, Lewis would find himself competing with some of the very best in the field. Who knows what lies ahead for the currently out of contract Brit? But in the meantime, we should all keep our fingers crossed for more news about what could be the coolest collaboration in NASCAR history. Which garage do you think Lewis will find himself in? Cast your votes down in the comments, and remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel and enjoy the content. If you want your say on what videos I make next and what subjects I cover, please consider donating to the link in the description below. But as always, your viewership is quite enough for me. So thank you very much for watching, stay safe out on the road, and I'll see you next time.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. takes it. Lewis Hamilton, champion of the world.
Ewan Kankin, 4 times title holder.